Welcome to Module 9 of the YouTube video ad section of Video Ads Academy. In this module, we discuss custom video thumbnails. Okay. Now, as I told you in the previous videos, custom video thumbnails are extremely important. And the reason why is because it'll help boost your click-through rates. If you're familiar with Facebook advertising, you know that the images plays a huge part in how well the click-through rate that you can get on your ad. And obviously, the higher your click-through rate, the lower your click prices. Well, with YouTube, it's called cost per view. Because of the type of ads that we're running, we're driving them to our videos. So there's going to be called cost per view, which is CPV, which is also another type of traffic called CPV. But for the sake of discussion in the YouTube video ad section, when we talk about CPV, we're talking about cost per view of someone watching your video. And so Google is really only interested in their eCPM. And Facebook also, focuses on this number as well. And basically what that means is for every 1,000 impressions they show, what is their effective earnings? Because that's basically what they're trying to do. Because the reality is a higher click-through, ad with a higher click-through will earn them more money than one with a lower click-through. And that's why you'll see them ask you for a bid. Your bid ranges will go upwards when you're not getting really good click-throughs, or what YouTube calls view rate. You want that view rate percentage to be, I've gotten them as high as 2 to 3%. I know somebody that's saying they was getting 10 and 15%. I haven't gotten them that high, but I've gotten them in the 2 to 3% range, and I could probably get a 10% view rate if I were really targeting really small. But when you're doing broad mass appeal type stuff, if you're getting anything over a 0.5%, you're doing exceptional. Because right now there's really not a lot of traffic. A lot of competition. So anything over 0.25 to a 0.5%, is extremely good, and you're gonna see your cost per views really go down. So that's why custom video thumbnails are extremely important. You want to use this to your advantage. If you want to be able to really get those cheap clicks, focus on creating, different custom video thumbnails to see if you can bump up that view rate, and it'll drive that price down. So again, that's why it's important. Now, the next part of it is the size. Okay, now what I recommend, the smallest size you use is a 300 by 170, because basically what YouTube is going to do is they're going to resize. That particular thumbnail. They're going to resize it. So, but I actually recommend that you do 1280 by 720, which is the HD size. And the reason why is because you want it to fill out the entire section when you load it up. If you do anything smaller than that, you'll see where it got the black, on each side of the image when it shows your preview. So if you do 1280 by 720, it allows you to get, everything in there, and then when YouTube resizes it, it'll fit in there perfectly. And ugly works. Ugly. I've been testing a lot. I've been running a lot of ugly stuff lately. I started out using a lot of images and, trying to, show images that evoke, someone's feeling or what have you. But I found that ugly, once again, wins. And that's something that I used to do on Google Display. I used to run a lot of ugly banner ads way back when, before everybody else started doing that. Obviously, it still works, but early on, 2007, when I was really, 2008, when I was really crushing it on display, It was because of ugly banner ads. The click-through rates was high and the clicks were cheap. So helped me out a big time. And what I've been testing too is bright colors and colored borders. And you probably, anything about Facebook, the synonymous red border, that's the internet market. Those are the internet marketer types. When you see an ad with a red border around it. Well, guess what? It works. I used to use those on Facebook way back. I'll still use them to this day on certain situations. But on YouTube, hardly anybody is doing this. Hardly any of your competition is going to be using this technique. So that's why I recommend the 1280 by 720, so you can get a huge, big, red or a green or some bright color border around, your picture or what have you, whatever it is that you're using. And then, you want to use pictures and add words in big writing, because if you put the words in small writing, when YouTube resizes your image, your thumbnail image, it's unreadable, and you want big writing so it can be readable. So what you want to do is you want to use, almost like a second headline, if you will, because your video thumbnail can have wording inside of it, and then you also get a headline that goes along with your ad. So what I've been doing is using the video thumbnail image to put like the main catchphrase inside of it, and then having a huge benefit statement as my headline. And that really draws people in, and I've seen the click-through rates like dramatically increase. So I'll show you a couple examples. You'll see this hack your sleep one. Big red border, black background with white writing. I mean, it really stands out. And that's just something I created, and I'll show you in a moment. I'm going to show you how to like crank these out, and these ugly things, they work. Then you'll see these other two over here that's related to basketball. Now, these are not mine, but this is where I got the idea originally for using the picture with the colors and all of that. You can see like the one on the left got the blue and the yellow going on, and the other one got the red and the green behind the guy with the big wording in it or whatever. This is where I originally got the idea from, and I started noticing a lot of the YouTube people on there that get a lot of views, they use this strategy. But this one is like these are like my favorite ones that I'm, starting to replicate, having that background like that, because they just stand out. And I can imagine, and I know this is a technique that a lot of the guys use, that they upload a lot of videos and they create these custom thumbnails. And the goal is to get them to show up beside other videos people are watching as recommended for you videos. And the ones with the best with the best thumbnails typically get higher click-throughs. It drives more traffic to their channel, ultimately get them more subscribers, and so forth and so on. So I know, guys that really focus on content and have big followings on YouTube, they use this technique. And so, why not, take advantage of it with your ads, because you're basically competing with those people as well, depending on what niche you're in. So, and then the one down here at the bottom is just a picture that, I put like a green border around, and I was surprised at the click-through rate that I actually got on it. I actually ran that for a campaign I was doing without the border and with the border, and it was a huge difference. I think that one got it wasn't extremely high, but it went from like a 0.21 to like a 0.45 just by putting that green border around it. So it made a huge difference. So, just a couple examples. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of skin it or whatever, but, these are some best practices from what I've seen that has helped me and has worked. And I think you guys can draw from. And then, now we got a live training section of this module. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to jump out of this presentation, and I'm going to jump into a live training to show you how to like create these ugly custom thumbnails like really quickly. So I'll see you in a minute. I'm gonna hop out and I'll be right back. Okay, so now Here's the live training part. Basically, what I'm using right now is something called Paint.net. It's free. You can download it. All you got to do is go to Google and type in Paint.net. I think it's a getpaint.net or something like that. But it's a free tool, something I've been using for a long time. And you can crank these things out like really, really easy. So the first step that I do is I'll go to image canvas size. And what I want to do is I don't want to maintain aspect ratio. And I'm going to put 1280 and I'm going to put 720 because that's the size that we really want to use. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is going to recreate that hack your sleep deal I just showed you, right? So basically I'm going to take black. So I'm going to click on black. Then I'm going to click this little paint bucket deal here. And I'm just going to drop that black in there, right? So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little rectangle here. And this rectangle is how I'm going to create my border. And then if I want my border, I think my border was red. So I'll click this bright red right here. And then I want my border size to be big. I think it's probably like 25 or 30. If you want a big enough border, maybe 25. And then what you do is you just click and drag. Click and drag. And you line this up till you get it right. Boom. And then you come to the other side and you click and drag up. Boom. Now I got a black background, a red border. All I got to do is put some word in here. So now I can go, I think it's impact that I use. Let me see. I think it's impact. Here we go. And I think it needs to be pretty big. So it's probably going to be like 96. So let's try that. And as white, I think the writing was white. So I'm going to click white. I'm going to click here and I'm going to type hack your sleep. Right? Now that ain't big enough, so I want it to be wider than that. So 144. Okay, that's probably too long, so I probably need to cut it down. So I'm going to go 130. Okay, yep, 130 is probably perfect. And boom, I just created that. All I got to do is save that as a PNG file, and I'm done. Now again, you can also take an image and crop it out to the proper size, put the border around it, and then drop your words, on top of it as well, kind of like I showed you or whatever. But these things right here are easy as heck to create, and you can create a bunch of them and you can test them out. And what you would have to do is you have to, test one at a time. Like you might run one and let it run for a day or two or three and then run another one. Or what you can do is you can upload several variations of the video, and then you can have different thumbnail images with it and create separate ads like that as well. Either or, it's really up to you. But that's basically how you do it. You save it, file, save, wherever you want it to go, say, desktop, and you name it or whatever you want to do. Hack sleep. And click save. Boom, you're done. Click OK. It saves. Now all you got to do is hop into your video, upload your custom thumbnail. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to pop this up. I'm going to click custom thumbnail. I'm going to go desktop. And I'm looking for hack sleep. Hack sleep. I'm going to click upload. Now it's done. All I got to do is click save changes. And you should be good to go. Now sometimes it takes a while for this to update. So what I'll do is jump out the video manager. And then if I jump back in on edit, see, it's still not showing. So sometimes it'll take a while, but eventually it'll update. And this is what your thumbnail will look like, right? And so when you're setting up ads, you'll see, I'll show you, in the ad setup, you'll see the little preview. That's basically what your ad is going to look like. That's going to be off to the right over here when you're running it. And those things stand out because it doesn't look like anything else. They stick out like a sore thumb. And they work extremely well. So that's pretty much it. That's just a quick little live training, a way to, I had that question asked to me several times, some of my friends that I'm, kind of working with, some of my clients, some of my students that I work with as well. How do, custom thumbnails, what do you do? It's like, dude, it takes you like 10 seconds to create them. So, boom, there you go. So you shouldn't have a problem creating a custom thumbnail that can get you really good click-through rates. So the next video will be coming soon. I'll see you in the next one.